morning, everyone. Welcome to News Extra. Camp Clarke Days in Bridgeport, just around the corner. And joining me this morning are a couple of the event co-chairs, I guess, basically, or is one of you really in charge and the other
Gail's
just
in charge.
Gail's in charge.
Gail's in charge.
Gail, Beyer, and Jack Berg join me this morning, and we're talking Camp Clarke Days, a tradition that's been around, Gail, for quite a long time.
Yeah, Jack would probably know exactly.
Yeah, they're early ones back in the 20s. It wasn't always continuous, but it's been around a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. How has it evolved over the years?
Oh, it has come along over the years. We've added a lot of things. Mainly in the old days, Gail's bringing back one of the things we used to do, but people used to dress for the occasion, and that's sort of gone away, but we're working on bringing some of those things back.
Yeah, that's kind of a neat deal. Now, of course, things kick off on the 30th of May with a couple, I won't say low-key events, but they are relatively get-together, low-key, how you doing neighbor type of deals, correct, Gail?
Yes, we have a hamburger feed to start off at the community center at 5:30, and we will announce our Camp Clarke candidates, and I'm hearing we have quite a few this year, more than we've had in the past, so that's exciting. There will be root beer floats, and we'll have entertainment that evening.
And then, of course, we can move on to the 31st on Friday, something that's been around for quite a while, the Camp Clarke Play. And this one's got an interesting title, as I see. Tell us a little bit about last roundup of the Guacamole Queens.
These are fun plays that they put on, and our director, Kristen Crappie, always comes up with some really fun ideas.
And so it's something that's sort of like falling in the line of a kind of a passion play, something along that line.
That or, yeah.
Comedic.
Throwing comedy
Yeah.
in there, always.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Always. And then, of course, things really get into gear on the 1st of June with Saturday, kicking off with that 5K fun run, fun walk.
We've combined all the alumni events on Camp Clarke weekend now. So yes, first thing in the morning are the alumni events, and then we follow up with the big parade at 11 o'clock, and all the other events going on that day.
Of course, a craft show starting up at 10 o'clock, going until 4 at Prairie Winds Community Center. The bike and car show, and do you need more people to get involved in that as well, I would think?
That's something new, and I think could be, we've talked about it for years, and this new businessman we've got has taken it upon himself to bring one in, and I think it's a good deal. We could make that into a real nice event.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun adding that into things. And speaking of new things, there's a couple other items that you alluded to, Jack, and we will discuss those in just a moment when we come back. On News Extra. My guests this morning are Jack Berg and Gail Beyer. We're talking about Camp Clarke Days coming up in Bridgeport, May 30th through June 2nd. We were talking a little bit earlier about some new things that are going to be happening this year. A couple of new contests, Gail. Tell us a little bit about those.
Well, in the honor of honoring the past and the present, I've been looking through some of the 100 years ago of Bridgeport books and Camp Clarke Days, and I just enjoy the history of Bridgeport. So one of the items we are doing is the beard contest. Back in the day, you could buy a permit to not grow a beard. If you had the permit, you didn't have to. If you had a beard or no beard and you didn't have a permit, you paid a fine. So this year you can buy the permit for $5,
Okay.
and you won't have to grow a beard.
Now,
if you don't have one, we will fine you $10.
I was going to say, who's
Yeah.
going to be out there enforcing? Will you have a
Our wonderful
beard patrol?
Lions Club
okay.
members in Bridgeport are our patrol that weekend.
That's going to be a fun deal. And there's also a spirit contest, I understand, that's going to be new.
Yeah, this is hoping to get more involvement in the play. The play has always been interactive.
Sure.
So hopefully we can have some class reunions, as we'll have quite a few in town that weekend. Get involved. They'll dress in purple and gold, of course, have their year. For my class, for example, it'll be 89. So we are awesome, we are fine, we're the class of 89. We will shout. And the class with the most spirit, voted on by a group, will receive $100 from the Lions Club to be donated to a current class or sport.
Oh, that's excellent. That is a very nice way to raise a little bit of money to benefit, like you said, a class or a sport. Now there's a whole lot more that's happening on Saturday, the big day of Camp Clarke Days. Immediately following the parade, we have a couple, actually several things going on, all the way up into, well into the evening. Starting off with the Bridgeport Public Library celebrating 50 years of memorabilia displays, sidewalk chalk drawing, and then the pie sale and the horseshoe tournament. Now, how do people get involved with that, or even the 3-on-3 basketball this day?
Okay, the 3-on-3 basketball, you can contact Simon Perez. His number is 641-9520. He has run that for several years. And then on the horseshoe tournament, if you just show up at the pits around noon, you can enter that. The Lions Club puts up $100 extra prize money for both events, so
Okay.
so it has something for the guys to have fun doing, and they usually have good turnouts for both events.
Now, aside from you know, the free swimming that takes place from 1 to 6 at the swimming pool and the kids' water games, which of course are on the lawn, goldfish, frog, toad, and turtle races. Now, how do those work?
Well, the community center is going to be in charge of that. Jeff Nichols and Kara Harper, they will organize all of those events at the community center for us, and there will be food served along with that. That's also where the beef cook-off and a beer garden will be held.
Mm-hmm. And how do you get goldfish to race?
You know, I've not seen the goldfish one, but the others are amazing. These kids go out and find toads and turtles and frogs, and one year my next door neighbor, little boy, asked me if I'd got my animals yet. He says, I've got extras if you need them.
It is very entertaining.
Oh, it is, and it's a lot of entries in it. They have a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun for the kids to get involved with
Exactly.
something like that. Of course, after that, into the evening, in addition to the beef cook-off, we have the People's Choice Tasting, which is part of that. And then entertainment with Randy Berg is scheduled as well, correct?
Yes, during the tasting.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that everything's done once Saturday is done. We kind of have a wrap-up type of event, a couple of events that take place on Sunday too, correct?
Yes, the alumni will have their all-school potluck that they've been holding for years, and then we'll have a Camp Clarke play matinee at 2 p.m. at the school.
Now, it seems like this has been something that has always drawn a lot of people back into the community. You know, are you doing any other type of outreach type of efforts to get more of the alumni and maybe former Bridgeport residents back into town?
I think Gail's worked real closely with the Alumni Association and gotten them posters, and each poster has a place for each class to write down what their projects are. And what's nice is actually last year we had quite a few of the alumni come in early and actually attend the Thursday night hamburger feed that we have. Gail's idea of Spirit Night for the play, to get them to come to the play and interact with the play. It's usually a melodrama with a lot of booing and hissing and this type of thing. So, yeah, I think Gail's tried a lot to get people to come.
It sounds like a whole wide variety of things for people to get involved with, whether you're from Bridgeport or not. A lot of fun things to do, especially on that big Saturday that starts early in the morning and just continues all day long.
Exactly.
Yes, and there's always going to be good food in Bridgeport as well.
Yeah, we've got a lot of great restaurants, and then we'll have food booths at the community center, so whatever your likes are, you ought to be able to find what you like.
Yeah, that's the Camp Clarke Days coming up May 30th through June 2nd. If you have the opportunity, definitely take the time to stop by Bridgeport and enjoy everything that Bridgeport has to offer with this celebration. Jack, Gail, thank you very much for joining us today on News Extra.
Thank you.